Welcome to We've Got Words, the podcast that no one asked for. I'm your host, Brent Neves, alongside the world's best co-host, Cameroni Macaroni. Cam, how are we doing today, bud?
Not well now.
Not well now? That's all it took?
Not well now because I told you only got one freebie of those, and you already used it. So now I have to hit you in the mouth.
Well, I'm
going to do our fans a favor and not do it live on the pod, but
I think maybe,
I'm going to have to hit you.
I think maybe, though, once we eventually get to our sanction portion, that you kind of lose maybe privileges to hit me in the mouth. But
Nope, because this is personal. It ain't business.
But hey, we're back to Cam not doing good in the intro now.
And very interestingly enough, you are the reason I'm not good. Look at that.
That's crazy.
Look at that. I was doing
crazy.
just fine. I was prepared to graciously accept that intro, but you hurt me.
Everybody loves Cameroni Macaroni.
No one.
Everybody does. We were getting great feedback about it. Everyone agrees that you should have gave that girl a chance.
Absolutely not.
That's true.
If I ever see that girl in the streets, we fighting.
That's okay. Now, wow, that's
you gonna
really...
hold my earrings and everything. We're gonna brawl.
I don't know if that's necessary.
No, it's happening.
But again, I think though, I don't want to spoil anything at the top of the show, but unfortunately, Cameroni Macaroni might have to be
That's 2 hits to the mouth, bitch.
We have to intro you that because of a sanction potentially.
Nope. Well, every time it happens, you're gonna get hit.
Speaking of sanctions, though, apparently you're sanctioning me by only letting me have 2 drinks.
Yes.
That was fair.
Because last week you made me make you 3 drinks, as it was discussed. You didn't even get through 1.
That was
you get less beverages this week.
That's why I graciously accepted my punishment, just like you'll accept yours later in the show.
I have always graciously accepted my punishment.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, might as well get this out of the way.
And also, it all cancels out because I did some serious work for the pod today.
Yeah, but also, you said that you would post every day this week, which you haven't. You got both of the clips late, so that's a punishment. And I warned you last time. I warned you last week, so...
This whole Cameroni Macaroni thing's really just thrown me off, man.
So from now on, unless if you do something, that's how I'm going to intro you. You're my new co-host, Cameroni Macaroni.
Nope.
So
nope. The Cammaniacs do not enjoy that name.
Well, I mean, they can leave it in the comments if they want to change.
We'll have to have a whole civil war about this.
Okay, I don't think we need a war, but...
No, we're warring now. I'm warring with you.
Well, we'll see. Well, how about this? Lead the comments.
Because you've been an ass bag all day.
That's crazy. I haven't been. I've been good.
You've been a prick.
No.
All I've been trying to do is just live my life and enjoy myself, and you've just been awful.
I thought, a good weekend together. I mean, it was 4th of July weekend, right? So we're recording this on the 5th of July. It's the day after.
Yeah, because we observe the holiday here at We've Got Words.
Yeah. We were still working, though, as we'll get into.
Because you're a working boy.
I know.
Working them streets.
But it was, I love the 4th of July. It's probably one of my favorite holidays. I think people who know me would know. Yeah, that checks out.
It's just an excuse to get blasted. That's all it is.
Drinking for America, drinking for freedom. I'm all for it. You see my outfit? Of course, you saw it.
Yes, I saw it. I brought you to the party.
We'll put it in the video, and also we'll see if you post it on Instagram. But it was a great time. I always have the best 4th of July outfits. This one's kind of lacking this year.
It's usually pretty standard. You have your George Sloshington shirt and your American flag cowboy hat.
Yeah, but
glasses.
I've lost the cape. In recent years, I've had a cape. I've lost that.
Well, that's the price we pay for freedom.
The glasses are on our giraffe, so they were a little bent and out of shape. The flag I had is it didn't really fit, wasn't it?
Don't blame the giraffe.
Oh no, I'm just saying. So, but hey, I still have great outfits. So, but it was a good time. Love just drinking.
You have a sense of style. I will not comment on if it's good, bad, or ugly.
Well, we'll let the people comment. How about that? Because they'll see it because you're gonna post it.
Let's.
And if you do, reality. Maybe then I don't call you Cameroni Macaroni. So
that's 3 punches.
I'm pretty
to
sure
the
it's
mouth.
4 or 5, but also
no, matter. We'll go with that. Five punches to the mouth. There we go. Not a problem.
But,
case closed. Ring the bell.
Sorry, we don't have the bell.
Sorry
about that.
Are the most irritating human being on the planet. You know that.
But other than that, drinking, nice weather. I got my cereal. I do have a shout out to our buddy Patrick. Our buddy Pat got me my cereal that we talked about
legs.
We talked about it last week, but I got my Enid and Wednesday cereal So I haven't dove into that yet, but I'll definitely keep everyone updated.
I'm very concerned on what's going to happen when I leave this apartment and you're alone with those boxes.
Nothing. I will. So I took a picture with the cereal box.
I have a feeling the Wednesday box is going to be watching whatever you do with the Enid box.
No, crazy. But
Am I wrong? How far off is that?
I mean, you just gave me a better idea, but yeah. I feel like I'm going to post it on my personal Instagram and tag her in it, and I think that might get her attention.
I don't think it will. You know how many people probably tag her in posts daily? Yeah, but you're not going to get the attention of her.
But here's the thing, though. Not all of them have killer podcast. Okay, not all of them are dressed up like in my 4th of July drip, and the whole thing was staged beautifully.
But here's the thing: is she's not going to understand
the
correlation. She's going to see a guy dressed in ridiculous 4th of July themed outfit and then just holding her cereal, and she's gonna be like, what? Why? It's not like you're like dressed in a cosplay or anything like nope, it has nothing to do with her. It's just completely out of nowhere. You just 4th of July, eat your cereal.
No, because here's the thing, the caption's also gonna say big fan. So she'll get the memo that like, oh, okay.
How does that make anything any better?
Well, because then it makes sense.
Does it?
Yeah, I'm a big fan, which is why I have the cereal, and clearly it's the 4th of July. And clearly I want attention. I think that picture really...
Well, you always want attention.
Well, yeah, we know that. Well, I want the right kind of attention.
You require too much attention, some would say.
I wouldn't say that, but...
I would.
Would you?
I would.
Well, I disagree, but, I just think we would be good friends in real life. Me and Emma Myers,
No.
I think we would be. So,
I think she'd get annoyed with you real quick.
No.
Yeah, dude.
No, she would love me.
No, trust me, it takes a very high tolerance to be your friend, and I'm not sure. It's not for the faint of heart.
That's maybe coming from you. She's better than
Yeah, but I have so much tolerance, and it is not easy, my friend.
It's not easy dealing with you either. Which we'll find out later.
Cakewalk.
I disagree. But I will say, not only did we have the classic cookout, 4th of July, drinking, American type party, but then we kind of mentioned earlier, we were putting in extra work. We decided it's not good enough. On the holiday, we got to hit the town and we got to get some stories for our people. And boy, did we.
I will preface this by saying, we were getting ready to go out. Brent was trying to hype himself up. He's going to go take a shower and, whatever else he does in there on his alone time.
Mostly shower.
Sure. So I was just chilling. And, it just kind of hit me, and I was just like, ugh, I just got down about it. I was like, no one's going to be out.
Cam was sad, which
ridiculous. I wasn't sad.
Not a news flash to anybody who listens to the show.
I was just in a spot where I was just like, what are we going to do? What's going to happen? We're going to go out there. We're going to have like a couple drinks. There's going to be nothing going on. This is ridiculous. We don't need that. So Brent got all mad. Finally, we ended up, agreeing like, you know what? We'll just go out, even if it's a bad time. We'll just try to enjoy what we can.
You brought me down, though, because I was feeling it. Because, we were, partying and drinking all day, and we were about to take some edibles and go out. And I was like, that sounds like a great plan. And then my street was packed with people at fireworks. And there's probably going to be no one there, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, but usually when we go, there's no one there anyways. So we might as well try, And then you got me really down about it.
Well, you should know not to listen to me if I start to get like
Your
that.
sadness is so contagious.
Thank you.
Not a compliment.
Well, it means I'm really affecting the world around me.
Yeah, you are a dark kind of cloud in the world.
No.
Brighten up.
You fucking brighten up.
It's good. We got to once we make you great again, then it'll be...
That's not going to stick, buddy.
It's going to stick. I'm going to make it stick.
It's not a thing.
But I forgot exactly what actually convinced us to go out, but we just decided, all right, fuck it, full send.
It was because
I got an Uber.
I just yelled at you, and I was just like, no, we're going out. We said we were going to go out. We're just going to fucking white knuckle through this.
Yeah. So
and you were like, whatever.
So we got the Uber. We were already kind of a little down, but we're like, you know what? Hey, we got to do it for our people. We'll try, right? We'll try. But I will say, in a great lieu of events, as soon as we got into that Uber, dude, our luck changed. Bro.
Oh, that's right. We met Anthony.
We had
Loved
the coolest Uber driver. I honestly feel like we got an Uber from God because God could sense that we were, a little down, and he needed to send us someone to really get the energy up. And man, Anthony was it.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily go as far to say he was sent from God.
I think
he was just a nice. Also a little misguided, middle-aged gentleman from Ghana.
There was just instantly there was content, and we looked at each other as he was talking, which again, we'll get into. But as soon as he started opening his mouth, we're like, yup, okay, this is going to be a good night. We instantly knew like our whole vibe.
All the worries just went away.
Instantly.
Anthony was a blessing, I guess, in that way.
So I forgot how it all started. I know the general concepts of what was going on, but I think he asked like, "Oh, if we're single or like we're married or whatever," and we're like, "Oh no, like that's why we're going out. You know, it's rough out there. We're trying to find someone." And then he decides to give us dating advice. And man, this was a wise man, I think.
Again, very very loose on the term advice. He seemed like a very beaten down man. He had a lot of I guess traditional values.
This guy
is the
was
nice way to put
not
it.
a feminist. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
But
So
he's from Ghana, so I don't think they have that over there yet.
What?
I don't think the movement
God,
reached.
just stop talking.
I don't think the movement reached to Ghana.
But he was explaining to us that in Ghana there are a couple different types of marriages that they kind of observe there. They have like a civil marriage, which he described as, you know, just one man, one woman getting together. Then there was, he called it the Muslim marriage, which I think he said was up to 4 wives you could have. And then he said the traditional marriage, which was that you can just have as many wives as you want.
Yeah. And then he said, he made it clear, though.
And he seemed very excited about that.
He made it clear, though. He was like, yeah, but as long as, like, you know, you can take care of them, it's fine. But he was like, it's a headache. So we asked, like, oh, how do they feel when, you know, you get another wife? Like, is that something that you have to check with them? Like, you have to get permission? He goes, no. What are they going to do? You're the man. They can't do shit. And we're like, fair enough. He goes, yeah, if you can take care of them, they can't do anything. You're the man. Be the man. I'm like, wow, this guy is great.
Yeah, needless to say, it was not the advice that Brent needed. That guy put a nickel in Brent, and I haven't heard the end of it since.
Yeah, you know, honestly, he was like, if you're a man, they should be cooking for you, cleaning. And I'm like, listen, when he put it in his way, it sounds a little bit bad. But I was like, yeah, that's not like, you know, that is something that a girl that takes care of a house and kids and cooks, that is a very valuable trait. And a lot of people, you know, like I lack those skills, so I would like that in somebody, and in return, they get everything free ride. And he's like, yeah, that's how it should be. Like that's what men should do. So ultimately, his advice was, fuck them, be a man, you control the situation, don't like give up with their bullshit, you know? And we're like, yeah, it's good.
My favorite thing was after this discussion, I don't remember if it was you or me. I think it might have been me. I was like, so what about you? Do you have a wife or anything? He goes, no, I'm divorced. And I was just like, that adds up, dude.
Yeah,
that makes so much sense.
But again, he was like, yeah, it was like too much headache. That's the thing. You can have many wives, but if you can't put up with the headache, it ain't worth it. But yeah, he was just like, yeah, you gotta, you know, sometimes you just gotta put people in their place. And I was like, he seemed like the nicest dude in the world, though. Like just like his voice.
I don't know about that.
Dude, he seemed cheery and like really upbeat. And I'm like, wow, are you like a good guy in Ghana? And should I move to Africa? Is kind of the path that I went down.
I think that you should, buddy.
I might.
I think that's the place for you. I think what Africa needs is Brent Neves.
I think I, you know, could go down there for a little bit. I think I wouldn't live there, but you know.
Well, we're gonna get you like 5 wives in Ghana. That's the new goal. We're gonna make Brent married multiple times.
I guess
we'll workshop the
what I'm trying to say is I would like that lifestyle, right? But there's a couple of downsides. So if we can fix them, it'd be great. I don't want to live in Africa. Not good over there, probably. It's, you know.
You don't know the specifics.
It's hot.
I think you're judging an entire continent because you just have some weird ideas in your head about what's going on over there. I'm sure there's some bad areas, but I'm sure there's some great areas too, pal.
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably more bad than good. I don't know. I haven't been. But also, I wish I could like stay here and have that concept with like American women.
Bro, you can't even handle one woman. You can't even get one woman. What makes you think you deserve or should have more than one?
And
you think more than one woman wants to put up with your fucking shit?
But here's the thing, though. You have
tough chance.
If they all have the Ghana mindset of, well, you're the man, though. I gotta listen. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you want a wife. It sounds like you want like a servant.
No, because again, I'm giving them so much in return. I mean, I'm a catch.
No, you're not.
I'm a catch.
No.
I don't know. Anthony seemed to think so.
You're a catch in the same way a disease is.
Anthony, seemed to think I was a good guy, and he was like, you know what, you go out and get it.
I'm not gonna necessarily take his judgment of character in terms of who's a good guy, but
why not?
Whatever helps you sleep at night, buddy.
Dude, as an Uber driver, you see a lot of people, so he has a great sense in character. He's intuitive about this kind of stuff. So when he looked at me and was like, don't take their shit. You get what you want. And I'm like, dude, I
think Anthony was blowing some traditional hardcore smoke up your ass.
He did get a good tip. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I know. I saw you do that. Which, good. He was a nice guy. So definitely no problem tipping
Uber drivers either. So.
Well, Anthony, if you're listening, thanks, but no thanks on the advice.
I appreciate it. And then honestly, both of our Uber drivers were good. I mean, we'll go chronologically because that's how we like to tell stories, but our other Uber driver was good too.
He didn't fucking say anything.
Yeah, but I feel like
he just sat there. There was a run-of-the-mill Uber driver. Nothing interesting was about that ride.
Here's what was funny about it, though. We were having an episode of the podcast in the back seat of his Uber, and I kind of felt bad because he was just vibing with it, and that's what I respected about him. Because we had a full-on episode on the...
I think he was just annoyed with us. I don't think he wanted anything to do with us being in his car.
We were high and talking about things that out of context are crazy, which everyone will hear soon enough. And he was just vibing. So I kind of respect that.
I mean, that's just part of the job, man. When you're driving Uber, you just got to take what comes in the back seat, It's a wild ride.
But I will say, one thing that also made this outing downtown fun, which, shocker, we went to Freeplay, the only place Cam likes to go.
I like games.
You like games. But I will say, usually when we go, we just try to, party, drink, go into, the club section. You will try to sneak away and play Dig Dug. But usually I don't play many games. I actually played the games this time. And, dude, I had so much fun.
Yeah,
so
man.
It started off, we had to play Dig Dug and that was a gift that I gave to you. That was the first thing we did. I was like, Cam, come on, bud. I took you right to Dig Dug. We played a 2-player game. We have some pictures. Cam,
I didn't do well, but this isn't news to the podcast.
Cam, I think, barely made it to the second screen, and I think, had 12,000 points, and Cam had about 5,000 points.
I think it scores more like golf.
Nope,
if I remember
definitely
correctly.
not.
I think it's the lowest
Cam
score.
got destroyed. And then I was doing things in the game, and you're like, how do you know he's going to be up there? I was like, Cam, the last guy literally always flees to the top left. And you seemed dumbfounded. That's your favorite game, and you don't know the basic rules.
I didn't say it's my favorite game.
Just crazy.
You over-exaggerate my feelings on Dig Dug.
Then we played Tron, which I beat you in Tron.
That game made no sense. It was the Tron disc game. It wasn't the standard Tron.
I forgot what else we played, but pretty much you did not have a good track record. But then I found potentially my Dig Dug. And I think Cam took a picture of the specific arcade machine. I would pronounce it for you, but it's characters that are not in this language. But the concept of them is Japanese rhythm games. And I don't know what they were, but there was a few of them. One was like a piano keys. So if you know the classic game Piano Keys, but this one was on crack. There was so much going on. There was so much. You
gotta lift your hands and stuff.
Everything was Japanese and anime girls, and it was just noise.
So Brent was very excited.
I didn't know what
this
was going
guy
on.
was just going through song titles and looking at album art, and I swear to God, he had half a chub.
It was crazy though, and this is a reason why I love these games, because I like rhythm games. I like that EDM music, EDM adjacent music, right? And there's so much going on the screen, and I'm just fucking tapping buttons and sliding and doing a bunch of things that I'm pretty sure the machine can't even recognize, but if it tells me to lift my hand and do shit, I'm gonna do it. And then all of a sudden, it's great, awesome, you have a 200-note combo. I'm like, how? I don't even know what's going on. I'm just tapping shit. And it makes you feel really good about yourself.
See, I was also trying to play them with Brent. The piano one, not great at.
Which I don't get.
I struggled.
At first,
I was able to do the basic stuff, but I'm not usually very talented when it comes to rhythm games or video games.
I was crushing B's and A's on advanced, bro. And you were there.
Yeah, but you also were getting B's, and then it was telling you that you failed.
Yeah, there was one where I got a B plus, and then I failed, which I don't know how that worked. They have really strict grading rubrics in Japan, I think.
Just had to go there, huh?
What? That's not a bad thing. I think we should all aim to be better.
I think you're implying some stuff
we
there.
like Japan. But yeah, it was crazy because I was like, oh, maybe everyone's just good at this game. But apparently, no. I think it was just really intuitive. It was my dig dug.
See, I preferred the circle one, though.
So I did like the circle one. And again, another one where it makes you feel so good because this one, very similar. You got to hit the notes, but only it's a whole circle. So you can go up, down, a circle.
Yeah, you're like rubbing the circle to hit the notes and like tapping and you're like holding it down and stuff.
Yeah.
I described it to Brent after like watching him play it for a little bit.
Which we have video
and then
of.
playing myself.
Which Cam will put clips about.
I described it as like what Guitar Hero would be if you were on like ecstasy. Because you're just like rubbing and feeling everything, and like Brent's face is like, oh, I swear he was like sweating.
The game definitely makes you feel like you're on drugs. Granted, we were on drugs, but it just has that vibe to it. And there's like you gotta like rub the circle, and it's like a dance game.
Rub that
it's
circle,
like a
buddy.
Dance game too. You gotta post the video because it was awesome. Another game I'm great at. And it's another one where you're doing so much and you think you're missing so much, and then you have like an A++, and I'm like, awesome, I must be killing it. And then there was one more, I forgot what the other one was. Oh, it was like, that one was stupid. There was like a button one where there was just like 4 buttons.
Oh, yeah, that one sucked.
That one was a little far-fetched, but.
That one was just like, the notes were like all over the place, like flying everywhere, and you had to just like hit it at the right moment, but it was just 4 buttons. I didn't like it.
Yeah, we ended up getting it at the end, but yeah, I think Japanese rhythm games are my new dig dug.
I'm happy that you discovered
that.
Buddy.
So that makes it better for you because now when we go to Freeplay, I'm not necessarily caring about partying and making stories.
So when we go there tonight,
we're not going there tonight.
You can play your little Japanese rhythm games, bro.
Here's the thing that you could be onto something. But I will say, towards the end, my fingers were getting bruised.
I'm going to get you padded gloves.
I'm going to need padded gloves.
And I'll get you a whole, like, thing. We'll get you an outfit. We'll give you a whole, like, cool,
because
I was badass
because again, once you're on into like advanced, you're hitting it, you're doing a bunch of stuff. I was like scraping my fingers up on the circle. I was
think
tapping.
You were getting too into it, so I think you were like hitting extra hard. Like there was times where like you're just supposed to like tap on the thing, and you were like fucking banging on the thing.
Yeah, because I was feeling it. All right, because there was a time, and this may sound like an exaggeration, but I swear this is how I felt. I was also high. But I felt like I couldn't see any of the notes. I couldn't see the machine. I wasn't even in Freeplay. I was given a show, and I was a DJ, and everyone was loving me. And I was just feeling the music, not even looking at the game, just tapping. And when I would open my eyes, I would see like a 200 note streak because I'm just feeling it.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you know right now that was because you were high.
Yeah, but it was still true though. I was still killing it.
Hey, to be fair,
I was giving it a show.
On the circle one, we were able to link them up.
Yeah, when we figured that out, that was good.
And you did set it to a higher difficulty level than I was used to. And I didn't do bad. I was much better on the circle one.
You did beat me at one, but in my defense, I finished, and I went over to you to talk shit, and I still see you playing, and I'm like, what is he doing? Look back, song wasn't over yet.
I beat you on that one, and there was a second one I beat you on.
Yeah, so you beat me legitimately one time. That second one, though, I was winning. I walked over to talk shit, and then you pulled the head. So I don't really count that one.
I count it because you fucked up. You got cocky.
And I'm pretty sure you were like, you should know these songs right now. You never know when they're over. I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Well, because that's how the thing is. Like, there's so many like parts in the song where they just have like a complete drop-off point, and they just bring you right back in.
That's
so
how
like,
you
have to just wait until it says like cleared.
The button one.
You have to,
because
if not, it's just gonna keep coming.
Yeah, and that's how the button one was because it never ended, and I didn't even know the controls to pick a song, but we figured it out at the end. But yeah, I think those are like so much fun. I wish I knew what they were called.
I took a picture of one of them.
Yeah, okay, we can't read that language, so
it wasn't in
one of them
characters.
One of them was.
The piano one wasn't.
Okay, I know the circle one might have been.
I don't know about that, pal.
I tried to make an account, but I didn't know how to. If we go back, we gotta figure out how to make
tonight.
An account.
When we go back tonight, we'll do some research
but
and we'll figure it out.
Once we had our fill of games, right, which I think really also elevated us in a good mood. We were feeling pretty good. We had good Uber driver, good games. We were kind of doing well. We decided to go upstairs to the dance floor part, and it was still dead, but surprisingly more people than usual for the 4th of July.
A couple more, yeah.
Still dead.
A handful, perhaps.
There were some people. But we were, and this is not a complaint. I mean, I'm fine with this, but we were high. So when we got up there, at that point, it started to hit, I think. And we were just, at the table looking at the dance floor, judging people, laughing, making pretty much our own content. And I don't know exactly how this thought popped into my head. It was probably the edible, but there was just a guy dancing and a DJ, and I thought we were like me and Cam were on a spiritual journey, and like this is that guy's hell where he can never stop dancing because he's always there and he's always dancing all alone. And then the DJ was
it definitely, he had a spotlight because he was just like either the only dancer on the floor or like one of three. Very separated. He was always closest to the DJ.
He also looked miserable dancing. Like he was doing the motions, but his face wasn't into it. His soul wasn't into it.
And the DJ looked so sad too. Like the DJ was like, he was doing a pretty good job.
And the DJ was great.
He was cranking out some good songs, some good beats and stuff, but he just looked like he wanted nothing to do with anything that was fucking going on.
So with all of that being said, I looked at a sad DJ who was so talented, but so sad. I don't want to say the Cam Ponte of DJs, but he was up there.
I kept calling him DJ Sad.
Yeah, and then there was this dancer who was looking like he was having a blast. Then the mask came off because he was wearing a mask.
Yeah, he was wearing a fox mask, right?
And he also looked so sad. Yeah. So then I thought, because we were high, I thought no one else was around and only we were experiencing this. So I was like, we're on a spiritual journey.
Okay, but here's the thing. I'm going to stop you right there. You took a couple of marijuana edibles, and then you started like having reactions like someone like slipped you something different, something a lot harder, and it was very confusing.
Because the Japanese rhythm games really got me into a vibe. That's what it was.
High on Japanese rhythm games.
Yeah, so that's what it was. So I thought we were watching this as like spiritual travelers, and we are seeing this guy's form of hell. And we're just watching them like, oh my God, he looks like he's having a good time, but he's miserable. He's such a talented DJ, but he's sad. Like, poor them. Then I had a big revelation. We're those guys. We are.
We're the sad dancer and the sad
and we
DJ.
were watching ourselves, and the universe was trying to tell us a lesson.
Motherfucker buys one damn crystal, and all of a sudden he's going on spiritual journeys and fucking having these awakenings. You're a sick man, you know that?
So that's what I was explaining to you, and I don't know if you got it at the time, but
I somewhat got it because at one point you said it's like a movie, and I was like, all right, he's gone. I'm the one who makes.
I never said it was a movie.
Plots.
I said it's like a movie because that's how I can talk to you.
But you were like, you were trying to explain it, and you were like, yeah, like just a bunch of sad people just forced to dance for eternity and never get anything good out of it. But like at the end of the day, we're watching them and we're learning from them until we become better people, and then realize that we were the dancers. And I was like, you're on something.
Yeah, I was on something. I don't know quite what. They put something in the Japanese rhythm games. But then the vibe instantly changed because as I was trying to get deep and go on that spiritual journey, I see fucking on the dance floor right next to it.
There was some very intense dancing, like on the opposite side of the dance floor, away from the sad dancer and farther from the DJ.
Like, I'm only exaggerating a little bit because it's not like they're twerking or they're making out. No, she was legit like doggy styling. And what I thought it was a guy, come to find out later on it was a girl, starts literally hip thrusting her, like fucking her, like legit fucking her.
She's bent over front twerking, and the they, them, whoever the person was, we had thought it was a male at first, but we found out after that they identified as female, I think.
We didn't find out, but we can assume.
Well, no, they said to someone else in passing,
I didn't hear that.
I'm a girl, so I'm pretty sure that's where it landed on that.
Okay.
But no, like literally, like grabbing the other girl by the hips and just like bam and back shots right from there. No, right on the dance floor.
I didn't think
it was a whole show.
And I don't think we'll get your side on this in a little bit when we kind of get to the real point of the story. But I didn't think they were even together. I thought that this girl was here alone or here with like another friend because she was dancing alone for the majority of the time that we were watching. And then this girl just starts coming up and fucking her. So I didn't know, hey, it's a club. People are there trying to fuck. We get it.
From what I saw, it seemed like the dancing girl, the aggressive dancing girl, she was there, and she ran into someone she knew, whether they met up with her there or whatever, and then that's when she started dancing with the other person.
Okay, yeah, because so she did, like, she was talking to
Because they looked like they had some familiarity.
Yeah, and she was talking to another girl and like a group of people, and again, we don't know these. We were trying.
There was one girl that ended up walking up.
Yeah,
and she was with like 3 or 4 guys, and then like we saw them
so
kind of go over. I think like one of the guys and the girl went over and was like dancing with them and talking to them, and the guy left, and then the girl kept like floating back and forth, and they were like showing each other stuff on the phones and having like this whole like drawn out like interaction on the dance floor.
So
and it was very confusing.
Like what that looked to me. Now, we didn't think too much of it at the time, but what that looked to me was, okay, she knows this other girl and the group of guys, right? They're together. They're a group, or maybe they know each other or something. And this other, what I thought was a guy, but turns out to be a girl who was like getting real aggressive and fucking her on the dance floor, was just trying to like hit on her. And her friends were being like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, and she was like, yeah, I'm fine. She was whoring it up out there. And I thought that was it.
She's just expressing herself through dance.
She was fucking so.
But no, I don't think the aggressive dancing girl knew the girl or the 4 guys that she came in with. It was just the one that she was dancing with. I think that they had no affiliation until they started interacting.
Now, regardless, though, either I'm right or your theory's right. They both sound like a reasonable thing you would see at the bar, just maybe exaggerated, right? Maybe she knew the person that she was dancing with.
Well, I mean, the weird part, like all of like who knows who aside, I think the thing that was so striking and like strange was like the intensity of the interaction that they were having on the dance floor. And then like they were talking, one girl goes back to her group of guys. A couple minutes later, she comes back and she like has her phone and she's like trying to like show her something on the phone.
Weird
and this,
thing
that,
to
and
do
and
after
I'm like,
just dropping
like,
it down.
Where is this coming from? And then like it looks like at one point they were like arguing, but then like at another point like they were like laughing and kind of like good with each other, and it was just like really confusing.
Yeah,
like what was going on?
It was confusing, but I still didn't really think anything of it. I'm like, weird, whatever. But like that weird behavior is justified knowing how extreme you are on, you know. So to me, didn't, you know, it was fine. But we eventually were like, all right, what do we want to do? What do you want? We'll go outside.
Yeah, I was like, let's take a break from this. Let's go outside. Let's take a breather. You know, not our cheer, not our problem.
We were joking about like, yo, did you see that girl getting fucked on the dance floor? Like we were joking, it was funny. Then we see the girl getting fucked on the dance floor, and who we found out, and this is what we confirmed, was a woman.
The partner
walk out, yeah, which we didn't know that at the time, but that was like, okay, confirmed it. And we're like, that's hilarious. It's this whatever story is going on here.
So they came outside and they were like arguing.
Yes,
they were like arguing and fighting. And at one point, one of the guys that the other girl was with came out and like saw them, and they had like an interaction, the partner and one of the guys. And that's when she was just like, no, I'm a girl. I hope you guys know that. Like, I'm a girl. I don't know why, like, I didn't hear what else was going on in the conversation. She just said that like louder. So I don't know, like, what he was questioning, what the guy was saying or whatever, and he was just like, oh, all right, and then was like, I'll hit you back. I'm gonna go see my boys.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
So again, I thought that was just your classic club love triangle drama bullshit, right? And we were done with that. We left that upstairs, but oh no, this story wanted to be heard, and they wanted us to hear it. So then they were, like you were saying, the couple was arguing. Right?
The dancer and the partner.
Yep. And then the partner was like, oh, no, that it gets escalated. She's like, no, that's just what they do. You don't get it. You don't understand. And we're thinking like, all right, there's something more going on here.
Well, so that's when the dancer girl comes out and she's just like, no, bro, they're trafficking her. Like, and starts saying like all this shit. I'm just like, whoa, wait, what the fuck is going on?
I didn't get that from that originally.
And then the partner just goes, no, they're just making money. They're probably just hooking. Like, they're trying to steal you. Stay away from them. And I was like, what the fuck did we miss?
She said it. She was like, I see this all the time. They're trying to get you and, like, traffic you and then, like, to get you to work for them. And we're like, okay, now we really start to pay attention to the story. So what we assume was the girl who was getting fucked saw this other girl who was with the group of guys. They were kind of talking. She either knew her, we still don't really know, or like knew her from somewhere or whatever. and she was trying to, like, well, the girl who's with the guys was trying to get the girl who's getting fucked to, like, hang out with them and join them. And the partner pulled her away and was like, no, she's for hire right now, and they're trying to pull you away to traffic you. And this girl was very certain. So that's the story. Did I mess that up?
So I was going to say the other scenario that I could like maybe picture, because there was a lot of times where the dancer and the girl from the group of guys were talking like just the two of them on the dance floor and like showing each other like stuff on the phone. So like I was thinking maybe because of how mad the dancer girl was when they were arguing outside and how like certain she was that she needed to help that girl, is like maybe the girl was like asking for help. And, like, told the guys, like, oh, I'm going to go try to get her over here, but then really was on her phone, like, hey, like, something's going on here. Because and that would explain why, you know, she was arguing with the other girl, because the other girl didn't see any of those messages, didn't hear any of that. So I was like, oh, shit, that could very easily be a scenario, too. It was scary.
The girl who was getting down with it was like, okay, we need to help her. We need to, like, if the partner is right, we need to do something. We need to help her. And the other girl was saying, the partner was saying, no, like, she don't need help. She don't want help. This is a trap. Don't do it. So the other scenario could have been, which, again, maybe less likely, but that there was no sex traffic rink going on here. There was no prostitution. The partner was telling this girl that because they didn't know each other and she wanted to go home with her. Now, that's what I originally thought.
I never thought that, per se.
Because I didn't originally think, I'm sorry, my mind didn't go to sex traffic. I just didn't go to
that thought wasn't in my mind until I heard them yelling about it, and then I was just instantly terrified.
So then I thought maybe the girl who we thought was the partner just met this girl, knows she's gullible, and was like, no, don't do that. You'll be a prostitute. Hang out, come home with me, and then dangerous stuff was going to happen over there. I thought that was like a slide, like a bad move.
I did not take the partner as a sinister individual.
But, I mean, regardless of what it was enough for both of us. But I mean, maybe you're a little more passive, right? You know how there's always like, you probably know about this, Mr. Psychologist or whatever. They have like the ways you can help people and intervene, right? Not all of them have to be, like direct, right? So we heard enough to be like, this is like a bad, I don't know what's going on, but it's a bad scenario. And I felt the need to help and say something because I'm very direct. Cam is not.
I disagreed because I was like, no good can come out of getting involved in this at all in any way, shape, or form. So, as it is, I think we should just walk away. And what happens, Brent?
Well, because here's the thing. Because I'm a good guy, I was like, Cam, I think we need to help them. So I look over and because we're hearing this argument and it's brewing, it's getting louder. We were right there first. Like, they could have picked anywhere else. They picked right next to us. They're both female, right? They clearly need help. There's something going on. So I asked, yo, do you guys need like help? And
okay, but this is what's bad though.
I was like, I should get involved.
This entire time when we're like hearing this conversation, we're like making eye contact with each other, and you're like dying laughing.
Yeah, because I didn't know it was real.
You're dying laughing, and you're like trying to make light of the situation. I'm just like, no, dude, like we should just steer clear of this 100%.
I didn't believe it.
And then you're like, should we say something? I'm like, no, absolutely not. And you go, no, I'm gonna say something. So when you said, hey, you guys need some help, you had the biggest smile on your face, and you were like laughing
like
when
I'm the
you
devil.
said
like,
it.
Oh, do you need some help? I can get you out.
Help?
I can get you out of this situation.
And I was just like, that is so much worse.
No, how I envisioned it, because I was laughing because I was like, this is a crazy story. This is not what's going on. But as it kept going, we came to the conclusion of, no, we could be like in on something right now, and we're like, we could really make a difference. This could be true right now. Like, there could be like a prostitution or sex trafficking going on right now in Freeplay. So then I decided, that's it. I'm a hero. That's the name of this episode. I'm a hero. We're heroes.
No.
Being the people that
we
the world
didn't do
needs.
anything. You asked if they needed help, and she turned to you and said, you got a cigarette?
Yeah. So,
and then we just said no, and she goes, okay, and goes back to the conversation. So they didn't need help.
But this was also
Which
funny.
also leads me to believe that there was still so much information that we didn't have, and
Clearly.
that we should have stayed out of it. Because here's what my concern was, is we were upstairs when all that stuff was happening. So people were making eye contact at us too because we were also
We were
staring.
involved in
People
it?
were like, "What?" You know what I mean? Like they were aware of our presence. I'm sure in a passive sense. We leave. We go downstairs. Now
I thought I was blending
they're
into the wall
arguing next to
perfectly.
us. One of the homeboys from the other party came up and he saw us in that same area as them. I was like, "Are we like fucking associated with this right now?" And then like, so I finally convinced Brent to like leave the outside. I was like, I don't want to be around them arguing anymore because I'm already. I don't know if it's the drugs or if it's just me feeling uneasy.
You
But I was
got
like,
paranoid.
I'm fucking paranoid.
You were like,
right
you were
now.
like, you gotta
I was
stop.
like, people are watching us. I was like, people are like, they
No, they
know
weren't.
we know.
No,
I was
they
like, they
weren't.
know.
And then you were like, yo, because then they left when we were outside, and we kept talking about it, and you were like, oh no, like that guy was from upstairs, dude. Like you be
Yeah,
quiet,
yeah.
be quiet.
No, so-
He's gonna do
So
something.
you were talking
What the fuck is he
loudly.
gonna do?
You were talking loudly about the situation. You were
Sorry,
like,
I was talking
fuck,
about.
you
I just heard
you
about
were,
prostitution.
like, yelling
going.
out loud about sex trafficking and shit like that. And then there was a guy that was upstairs, which I'm pretty sure was with that group of
So he
guys.
was gonna kill me and
like,
shut me up.
Turns around and makes like direct eye contact
I
with
don't
me.
believe that.
And then like when he kind of saw that our eyes met, he like turned around his back to me and then like leaned in and was like saying something to another guy. And I was like, oh fuck, he knows. He thinks that we figured it out. Like they're gonna come after us.
Yeah, I didn't.
And then like
believe
there was a
that.
couple other people. We were like walking around. They were like standing at a machine, like looking like they were playing, but like they weren't playing the machine. And then when we walked past them, they would like look up and like eye me down as we're walking by. And I was like, Brent's gonna get Brent got us killed. That's what happened
What
today.
Cam thought was we walked into like a 5-star fucking like rink going on. That's a big operation that's in Freeplay. We figured it out somehow because we're super clever.
We're geniuses.
No one else. It's been on like this for years, and no one's ever known until we walked in, and now we're gonna get killed.
Well, no,
Shut
that's
up.
not. I don't. That's okay. I'll take it back. I don't think we were gonna get killed, but this is what I think happened, or what was gonna happen. Like in my head, like we were gonna be like, okay, you know what? It's time to leave. We were gonna get outside. Bam, bags over our head, handcuffed, thrown into a
would've
van.
made
We
great
get
content.
interrogated, and then me and you have to fight our way out and eventually take down a sex trafficking
wanna know
ring
what's funny?
in Providence,
Do you wanna-
and then we get the keys to the city.
Here's what's funny though, Cam. When you were saying that and you were paranoid, I was clearly like, that's ridiculous. But there was a small part of me that was like, but I really hope you're right, because that would make such good content. Like that would be. Dude,
Can we write that screenplay? Cam and
might-
Brent take
yeah.
down a sex trafficking ring.
You know it's gonna be great. Hey, maybe if when we go back there tonight, they'll know us and we'll get that treatment.
No. That now you're making me not want to go back tonight. Because if we go back and we see that group of guy and one of those girls, or
We're dead.
God forbid, both of those girls,
We're cooked.
I think they're gonna know something's up and they're gonna be like,
Or maybe-
they're cops, they're
or
narcs,
maybe-
take them out.
Maybe we take down that group of guys who we think were trafficking women, and come to find out her partner was the real mastermind all along, and we took down the good
so
guys.
you think that
We took-
everyone knew each other except
Yes.
for the dancer,
Correct.
and that they were just
And the
trying
dancer was
different
trying to-
angles to steal her away?
I think
That's fucked.
I think her partner.
You have a sinister mind.
I think her partner was like, no, they're sex trafficking. Don't go with them. Go with me. Never see her again.
That's fucking terrifying, man.
It could have happened.
That is not good podcast content right there. You're
That-
scaring people.
No, I think we need to go back. I was the only one that asked for help. But do you also
You laughed in their face.
like kind of ease my mind though? Because when I asked, like, do you need help? Because at this point, it could have been a real thing. In my mind, I was like, if the only help this girl needs right now is a cigarette, I must have something wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So then I was like, fine.
It definitely leads you to believe that there was so much more going on and that it probably wasn't as serious as we thought it was based on the information that we had.
Also,
and to be fair, too, when I was walking around the inside again, paranoid, we sat down at a table near the bar, and the partner and the dancer got right up to the game that was on the other side of our table playing Dance Dance
It's unnecessary
Revolution.
to go there.
Playing Dance Dance Revolution,
Like
and
they
they
needed
were
us.
having a great time though, and they seemed happy still. Like their night wasn't ruined. They weren't interacting with anyone else, and I was like, okay, so you know what? All of this probably blew over. Hopefully, nothing sinister was going on.
Another thing that made me a little bit, more at ease with the situation. Either it's a credit to the story being not that big of a deal, or a discredit to you, because all this is going on, and I'm seeing Cam log into mobile games and play games and going, I gotta get my daily
No,
rewards.
it was
I'm
the
like,
bonus.
I'm like, Cam, they're talking about a giant sex operation, and you're logging into your mobile game
I just
for a
wanted
bonus.
to get my
Crazy.
diamonds for my number game. You get it. I noticed because I had checked the time on my phone, and I was like, "Oh, it's already a new day. I got to get my diamonds before I forget."
But then we, you got paranoid again because eventually we left. Right? We were fine that we didn't have to get involved. We finished up our night. We left the place. We walked around for a bit.
Well, so this is the thing. We walk out of Freeplay, and I'm like, "All right, you wanna call the Uber?" Nah, we gotta walk.
It was a
I was like,
beautiful
"What?"
day.
You're like, "No, we gotta walk. I'm feeling it. So then he starts playing the friggin' game of just we're gonna go where Brent's heart takes him.
Yep.
And we just started going down some sketchy streets.
It ended up being
there
bad
was
path.
a lot of people like staring at me and eyeing me down and shit. And I was just like, they all know.
I
They
think-
all know that we cracked the code and,
I think
they're gonna
there
take
was
us.
a point where you turned and you go, "Yeah, are you working for them?" I'm like, what does this mean?
Well, that was a bit.
It was a funny one.
At that point, I was like, you know what? Maybe Brent's in on it with them, and he's trying to steal me.
But again, then the world just throws us like such a funny scenario just for the bit. Like the world is in on the bit because then a car drives by us. Now I didn't hear this, but you heard it, and there was like guys yelling out the window to
So
us.
yeah, we were standing on a corner and we were waiting for our Uber. And a silver sedan drove by, and it was just filled with like guys that looked like frat guys.
They did.
And one
Hanging
of
out
them's
the
hanging
window.
out the window with like, like wavy, like longer blonde hair. And he just goes, looking at us on the corner, just, standing there, goes, "Wow, I bet you guys get so much pussy." Like so exaggerated, so like demeaning, like just trying to be like a fuck you. And I just go, "Yep, I know, buddy."
So
And then they like slowed down because they were getting to a light. And he just like, I think like my answer took him by surprise. I think he was expecting a fuck you, but I was just like, "Yeah, I get it. We're losers. Leave us alone, buddy." And he just goes, "It's okay though. I love you." And I just gave him a thumbs up and they drove away.
So what I thought, because I didn't hear any of that, I go, "Cam, am I gonna have to fight those people?" Because I was like, I know Cam's paranoid. He sees a group of guys yelling at him now from a car. His paranoia level's probably increasing. What did they say? Are they talking shit to my boy? Do I gotta fight them? You told me what they said. I was like, okay, I guess that's not a.
You thought it was a compliment.
Yeah, I was like, that's a compliment.
You're like, "Oh, they recognize that we fuck." And I was like, "No, it was sarcastic, you idiot."
But then I was like, that's weird. At least my guard's down. I don't need to fight him. And then you tell me, yeah, but then like I said what I said, and they were like, "I love you. It's okay." So in my mind, I went, wow, these people wanted to fight us, and then you just were yourself.
I de-escalated the situation by just going, "Yeah, I fucking know."
And
You got a problem with that?
And these guys also know that Cam is sad, and we're like, "Wow, you're so sad, bro. We need to. I'm sorry. Like you need a win." Even random people. You said one word to the guy driving out of while they were driving by, and that guy instantly knew, "Wow, this guy's sad."
No,
Instantly he knew that.
I think he was doing it as a bit. He didn't get the response he wanted and felt bad. So then he was just like, "Oh, you know what? I got to make up for it." Like, I think like he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be hilarious," and then it was like, "Oh no, wait, I feel like a prick." Like, this guy knows he's trash.
See, I just think
called him trash.
I think he sensed your sadness like everybody else does. It's fine. Make Cam great again.
Nope, not
But it
not following that.
It was a great. Oh, we also though before we get the Uber, because eventually we stopped. We're like, all right, we'll get the Uber. We were walking around. While we were walking around, and we have another picture which you'll show everybody. We were on a hill, so we could see more of the city. And what we saw was the place where we were was right next door to Medici. Right next door the whole time. We didn't know that.
We just never know.
So that's why we had to walk around.
Because it was the back. The backs of them are butting up against each other, but the entrances are on completely other streets.
If you hear that story of when we go to Medici, and then you see how comically close together they are, man, it puts that story in a whole new perspective.
Yeah, it makes us look a lot dumber.
Go back and listen to that part after you see this picture, and then listen to the whole episode. Actually, why not? You know what I'm saying? Watch the video on YouTube. But yeah,
shameless plugs, buddy. Good job.
I thought I killed it.
No,
but yeah. So that was our 4th of July night. It was crazy. We ordered some McDonald's.
Well, so that's the other thing too. So we get in the fucking Uber, and we're having a whole episode thing. I'm just trying to order us McDonald's. I'm fucking hungry. I finally convinced you to not eat healthy, and we get home. I put the order in at like maybe like 2:15, 2:30. We get home, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, all right, looks like it's going to be here like around 3. That makes sense. It's a late night. Probably not a lot of drivers out there. I get it. Not a problem. So you put on Love Island to torture me. I'm just sitting there upset because of how stupid and annoying they all are, and just the amount of bullshit that just happens and cringe, but I digress.
It was the baseball episode, man. They were all getting hot.
Yeah, it was a fuck fest.
That's that show.
But I keep looking down at my phone to check where my McDonald's is, and it's like, oh, now it's not going to be there till 3:15. I check like 2 minutes later. Nah, not going to be there until 3:30. That fucking McDonald's did not get to us until 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was
You were
furious.
very happy. I honestly was happy because in my mind, they kept moving your time later and later and later. And the car
I was
wasn't
getting
moving.
amped up.
And I was like, I've been here before. We're not getting the food. Doesn't matter what time. I'm not getting the food. You were starting to fall asleep. You were angry. And I'm like, Cam, honestly, if you're feeling like this and you're waiting for the food, it ain't going to come.
That's what was funny too, though, is because I was falling asleep like in between things, and then like I would either wake myself up or you would wake me up, and I would wake up just as angry as I was.
You were blaming. I was like, Cam, if you're tired, go to bed. You go, I'm not tired. I'm just mad at this food. I'm like, what? So the food being late is making you fall asleep and not play our fucking game?
Yeah, I was shutting down.
It was crazy.
I was in low power mode because I was hungry.
But in my mind, I was like, we ain't getting this food. So the fact that we got the food was crazy. Because that was
yeah, but it wasn't even that good. It was like kind of cold and like soggy, and I was like, fuck this.
You were so cranky this morning. Like you were yelling, and you did warn me, but you were yelling and you were
I told
being annoying.
You woke me up to go to the card shop, and I was like, man, we didn't even get our McDonald's until 4 a.m. Now, like, never mind when we got to sleep. Now you're getting me up at like 11 o'clock.
Yeah, so I thought it was going to be.
And you want me to do things?
See, it was real quick thing. It wasn't going to be like that bad. We were like, oh, we'll go to the card shop. You were like, I'm going to be in a mood. I was like, we'll get Dunkin', whatever. Like, we're fine. Normal human behavior. Then when we get to the drive-thru, we start yelling because you were excited. So I had to teach you a lesson.
This specific Dunkin', like the drive-thru, it's not just like a regular drive-thru. Like you have to go into like a tunnel. And it was really cool. I've been to it like once or twice, and I'm just like, I love this.
You were
like,
a child.
It feels like so much more of an experience.
You were screaming.
And I kept asking. I was like, Brent, can we go through the drive-thru? Can we go through the drive-thru? Can we go through the drive-thru?
And
you
I
were
said
like,
yes.
I don't know. I don't know. So you pull in, and you go right into the drive-thru.
Because I'm a good guy.
And so I was excited.
Yeah, and you start yelling in my ear. And so, again, to teach you a lesson, as a fatherly figure in your life, I said, nope, we're not going to have this. You're not going to have these outbursts. I backed right out of the drive-thru, and I was like, we're going inside.
I was excited for tunnel time, and you took away my happiness. It was the one thing that was getting me excited, and I was like, you know what? This just saved my morning. I get to go through the tunnel.
You could have just shut up and accepted it.
The second I express myself, you suppress me.
You could have shut up and accepted it. So I was like, we're going to go inside. You go, I'm not going inside. You're going inside for me. I was like, if you don't come inside, you don't get a coffee. End the story. Like,
you
this is how
should have
the
got it from me
father-son
because you upset me.
No, because here's the thing. You listen to me. I make the rules.
That's not how this works. I'm my own person.
So then you were mad that I had to discipline you, and then you bought some stuff at the shop again like a toddler. You were like, I gotta open it. Cam, no, you don't. It's gonna make us. No, I'm gonna do it nice. I'm gonna do it nice. I'm like, Cam, they're cards. They're gonna go everywhere. No. Look, it's a whole thing. All right. Cam opens it in the car and realizes, yup, that box you were going to put him in ain't going to work. And you couldn't
I didn't make a mess. I was excited. I just bought new things. I wanted to see them and explore and enjoy my purchase while you were driving.
Literal children do that. Like, you couldn't have waited for 1 minute.
It wasn't 1 minute. We left that place, and then you were driving to the movie theater. I was going to have to not only take the entire drive to the movie theater, but then another 2.5 hours to watch some fucking cars go fast.
You liked
and
it.
then another 20 minutes home. And then we had to record the podcast. I wouldn't have been able to play with my stuff for the entire day.
Okay, so children have that behavior. Adults will go,
No.
I'll get to it when I get
so you
to
wanted
it.
me to sit in the fucking car with my finger in my ass while you're driving and
did
then
I
sit
open
through
my
the movie
stuff?
and go, I didn't get to do my thing.
Did I open
You
my
got
stuff?
one thing.
You
were
thing.
driving. No, you got a mat. I got a whole game.
But it brought us to the idea of, you know what, and I think the people already know this. You do a lot of things that piss me off. And you're also now an ally of the blind ranking. So Cam
No,
came to me.
I'm not. I did this out of spite.
Okay. Is it out of spite or does Cam secretly like it?
Me doing your shit better than you did.
Hey Cam. You like blind rankings,
I
don't you? He does.
I don't. I hate it. It's stupid.
So Cam.
I actually asked if we could just regularly rank these, and you said no, make it blind.
No, you were like, I'll make it blind. I left it up to you. So this is your segment. And I titled it, and I think it's Cam's the worst. So Cam, you want to explain this to the people, and we'll cover it at the end of the show here.
All right. So Brent will be blind ranking different annoying habits and behaviors that I have, and he's gonna rank them worst to best. So number one will be like the thing that I do that bothers you the absolute most.
Okay, I should actually pay attention
And
to that.
it's I think I got 7 in there.
Why 7? So you didn't understand quite the concept.
No, I put 7 because I know how much you like the number 7.
You just made that
No,
up.
that's your favorite number. Because I had an 8th one that I could have thrown in, and I was like, nah, Brent likes 7.
Right. So
and that's me being nice because
everyone knows
my favorite number is 8.
Everyone knows how Cam's favorite segment of the blind rankings work. So Cam, read out your first one.
All right. Cam's eternal sadness.
So things that I hate?
So how much this bothers you?
How
This
much
is a
it
behavior of mine.
bothers you.
How much you always point out, you're like, oh, Cams, you're so fucking sad. You're this, you're that. Anytime I don't want to do something, you blame it on that. Anytime I have, I'm doing something that you don't like, you blame it on my sadness.
So here's the thing. It's annoying, right? But it doesn't... it only affects me because I'm a good person and I want better for you. And I don't want you to be sad out of being a friend and a co-host. But it doesn't really bother me. So I would say you being sad, maybe the 6th one. I want to leave it for something being worse just in case, but it's your blind ranking list. You probably didn't do it right and you're going to fuck me.
No, I explained what it's supposed to be. The most annoying is number 1. The least annoying is number 7.
Yeah, so I don't think this is annoying. It's more of frustrating because I want you to be better. But I guess it really doesn't affect me. Be sad at the end of the day. You know, it's not my life.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll go number 6 for that
All right,
one.
we'll keep that at 6 for now. And next, lack of motivation and drive. Now, this affects the podcast, which affects your stress levels. It affects anytime we make plans. You get mad if I'm not doing certain things. So this is a key aspect of a Cam quality.
Okay, I'll say I think this is the same vein as number 6 of your eternal sadness. It, like you said, it could affect me, like the podcast and stuff. It's on that same realm, though, of like, I don't really care. It's more frustrating. But I will put it at 5, worse than your sadness, because I just, like, where it could affect me adjacent to where it could be like, I would love to have a successful podcast with my best friend. I just wish he had more motivation to do it. So that makes me a little sad personally, which is why it's worse. But ultimately, again, your life, you know.
Fair.
Yep. Fair. All right, next one.
We have random singing.
Now that's up there. I think we're going
Brett
good.
does not like that there is always a song in my heart, and I like to let it out.
So I don't know how this list is.
Now, also, I want you to keep in mind as well. It's random singing. That means whether we're in the car and a song comes on that I like, and I just decide I'm going to belt it out. It's also when I make up songs and I like take a song that exists and I put your name into it, or when I just make up songs on my own.
So I'm going to ask you a question.
All of the above.
You don't have to answer it, right? But does this include, or do you include it as a separate thing? Again, use your own digression with how you answer this. Is random outburst going to be on there? Because random singing is annoying because it's a random outburst. So if you...
I don't think there's a specific random outburst on the list, so you can include that.
I can include random outburst? Yeah. Okay, so I was gonna put it at 4, but the random outburst of you just yelling in my ear, singing a song, fucking trying to do a bit where it's not bit time, like you getting mad at me for no reasons because you have an agenda that you want to follow, that's up there. That might be a 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we have 3, 5, and 6 so far. What do we have next? Nonsense sayings. My just random nonsense sayings that I come out with, I don't have them on hand. They're always off the cuff.
Like it's cusp.
It's not.
Like cut of your jib. What did you say? What did you say? You were trying to say one, I feel like today.
No, I don't think I used any today. Again, they're hard for me to just come out with
I'm
because
sure we've
it's
said them on
very
the show before,
spot.
right?
Yeah, you make fun of me for them all the time.
And I will continue to call them out. Honestly, can I tell you something? Honestly, I'm gonna put it at 7. Some of them kind of grow on me.
Like what? Like what? Like what? Give me credit. Like what? What do you like that I say? Like when I say check out these shit kickers?
No, that one. I mean, I've known about. No, you said some like stupid ones. I'm pretty sure I've talked about them on the show before.
Sometimes, probably.
They
They pop up from time to time. They're camisms.
they're mainly like things that like your great grandfather would say. Like, and I kind of like the retro aspect to it. And I'm like, you know what? Okay. So yeah, I'd put that at 7.
Okay.
And
fair.
don't worry, going forward, every time you say one, I'll let everybody know this is an example. Or maybe, Cam, you can go back to other clips and we can post them.
We can try to do like a super cut of Cam.
Yeah, you can do that, and I'll put the video together.
Sounds like a lot.
All right, what do we got next?
Ass and foot stank.
It's crazy. You're just outing yourself like that.
You constantly complain that both my ass and my feet stank.
Yeah, bro, because you ruined my bathroom. You put your shoes like anywhere, and you're going to smell them for miles. That's a 4, I think. Because, again, their solutions, you just don't. If you being stubborn is on here, then that's like where this comes in. But because you don't want to take the solution of buy fucking new shoes, or like, can you not take a shit in my house? Like, no, that's more of the aggravating part. But the fact that you have both ass and feet stank goes number 4. So I only have 1 and 2 left, right?
Yeah. So you've screwed yourself. These have to be the 2 worst things about me. Constant need of attention and affection.
That might be 1. Oh, fuck. One, honestly, this could be a 1 or a 2. You are very needy like a puppy, and I just don't have the energy for it all the time. And you combined your random outburst and your stupid sayings.
Well, none of that's for attention. That's just me.
Yeah, but you combined all of it. And
like, I do all of that, and I don't necessarily need anything from you. That's just, there's other times where I apparently require affection and attention, but it is not from my outbursts or my singing. That's why they're separate.
It's pretty bad though, because this like it kind of covers all the other ones pretty well. So, but I'm going to hope that number 1 is something like being a disappointment or something like that. So I will put this at 2.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Wingman abilities.
Yeah, honestly, looking back at it, this would have been 2. The other one would have been 1. But yeah, I mean, we'll put it at 1. If you were a better wingman, that would greatly affect my life. So that's one thing that other than what was number 2 would actually affect me in a positive way. So I would have put it 2, but I'm fine with it being 1.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
do
you
better.
think the worst thing about me is that I am a terrible wingman.
Yeah. Yep. And I do like how you listed them all out here at the end for a recap. So what I had, do you remember?
So your rankings were wingman abilities, affection and attention. I think it was the random singing.
Yep.
Ass and foot stank. Then
Lack
of
of
motivation, sadness, and then the what was the last one?
The nonsense sayings.
Oh, the nonsense sayings.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. The only thing I would have switched probably was you want way too much affection and attention as number 1. And then I probably would have moved random singing up to 2, and I would have slotted wingman abilities in at number 3. That would be what I would have changed, but I mean, you did a good list. I thought you were going to fuck me over with the last one, but they are all things that are annoying, and you should get help.
No, I think that's just all, a little bit of spice.
Do you need another therapy session?
Another therapy? I have them weekly. What the fuck do you mean?
No, with me.
God, first of all,
we can tackle
any session that I have with you is never therapeutic.
Because all of those,
if anything, it's more traumatic.
I'm just saying, all of those like traits that piss me off could be a 5-page letter to your therapist if she wants
Go
it.
for it. There you go. Take the content. I did part of the work for you. Those are your prompts.
Time out. Don't do work for this and go, see? And now everything you do, all your 100-page papers
I think
are because of me. Fuck you.
No, because I'm the idea guy, I give you good stuff and you have to build off it. That's what you get for making me do work. More work for you.
Okay, but you have to, I'll do all that work, but you have to admit the blind rankings are great.
No, because we could have just regularly ranked those and it would have been so much better.
I like the suspense.
There's no fucking suspense.
There is for me, and I like it.
Dumb idea. trash. Are there any other annoying qualities that I have that you think should have made the list?
No, I think you kind of broke up a general vibe of why you pissed me off into like multiple of them. But the general vibe of why I hate you at times is like you just do random things at random times. You don't know the moment. It's like
I'm a wild card.
Like you literally, and this could be a compliment to you. You have a very strong skill of knowing when not to piss me off, what will piss me off in that moment, and executing it perfectly. So like that's the general vibe. You're acting like a child. Why? Like what are you doing?
I'm a child at heart. It's a beautiful thing.
We want to go out.
Children look at the world in a much more innocent lens, and I think we should all learn from that.
When I want to go out and party, you're so depressing. You're so sad. You're an awful wingman. When I'm trying to do good things for the podcast that I could do with anybody else, but I want to do it with Cam, my best friend. You lack zero drive. You lack all the motivation.
You're more of an acquaintance to me.
And it's just, it's still, that's everything that kind of pisses me off. So you really captured it pretty well.
I'm pretty self-aware.
You're intuitive, so.
Yeah, you get it now. So you're coming around to it.
With that being said, let's tackle the lack of drive. Cam, let's switch that one and please like post some clips and some pictures and maybe do something. You are under sanction right now, so if you don't want me to call you Cameroni Macaroni in the next episode,
6 hits to the face.
You have to do something. So, but I did drink all of my drinks. You proud of me?
Yeah, you must have been chugging, you little bitch. That's what you should be doing.
Chugging?
Yeah, you should be chugging. If you're gonna make me get you 3 fucking drinks, they should be done by the end of the show.
Technically, I only made you get me 2 today.
Well, I only let you have 2.
Technically, I had 2.5. So.
Yeah, because you were already drinking that. So you technically got that drink for yourself. I said, I'm only bringing you 2 drinks.
That's true. But, yeah, so I hope we can keep doing the blind rankings. If people don't like them, well, in our defense, the first time we did one, we actually didn't get feedback from that yet. So can't blame us. But let us know what you want to see.
They're trash. Let's do regular rankings.
Maybe. Give us topics, too. Also, I'm starting to run out of sanction ideas for this guy over here, so let me know about those. Also, next week, big episode. Our high school reunion episode.
Is that going to be next week's episode?
Yeah, because our reunion will be this week.
This weekend, yeah, I guess.
Maybe I'm teasing it a week early, but we're going to go over a lot of our high school stories. I don't know what format we're going to do that in yet. Like
I'm cooking something up.
So that probably won't happen. Yeah, be on the lookout for actual pictures and videos and
probably
clips. If not, just watch the YouTube video. I've done the work. I just need him to do something too.
I think we should get enough people
also,
commenting.
I'm also doing the outro.
No, you're not.
So.
No, you're not. First of all, no one asked you to do that.
I'm just
you
saying,
just kept fucking talking and then started to loop around to like what's coming next. No one fucking asked you to do that.
I'm just saying, take notes.
You didn't need to. None of that was necessary. You just did it and then threw it in my face like it was something we already talked about.
I'm just saying, I was doing your job as the outro because you weren't doing it. So,
we weren't ready to outro. We were in the middle of a discussion.
I was over that discussion.
Okay, well then there's easier ways. You could have just, looked at me, given me a social cue. You could have just like stopped talking or kind of like winded down the conversation, and you didn't.
I'm pretty sure the social cue was, all right, let's get into this real quick. All right, let's do this real quick.
What?
Yeah, roll it back.
You just kept fucking throwing shit out there, and you were talking the entire time because you weren't even giving me a way to edge in. And you didn't even thank the lovely people for listening and supporting us and, telling their friends to go out and listen to We've Got Words on Apple Music and Spotify and to check out all the video stuff on YouTube because we still have that bonus episode that like no one's watching.
That's not even true anymore.
To set
it's not even true anymore. You just say that because you always say that.
But yeah, no, essentially we just have to keep the fight alive here, getting more and more viewers every day. So share, like, subscribe. Is that a thing? Can they subscribe to us? Probably not. Well, thanks a lot.
Yes, they can. Do you not know what we have?
I don't know things. Do I look like I know things?
Yo, I'm just saying, Sax on the Beach, people are hearing that song so much with these outros lately.
Thanks for listening.
Crazy.